Hello, this is Amy, your dual language coach from dualcoach.com. Today we're going to be playing a game. This is part 2 of what is dual language education, and it's time to put into practice what you learned in part 1 of what is dual language education. So we're going to take the next, few minutes, maybe 10 minutes or so, to really try and dig a little deeper. I'm going to share with you some definitions that I took, well, not definitions, descriptions, program descriptions that I took right off of the web. And we're going to see if we can figure out what's dual language and what isn't. So on this is the game, and down on the corner of the page, you'll see that I have the goals and non-negotiables, just as a reminder, and let's try the first one. So this represents our first program. Right from the web. This program provides a 50-50 simultaneous biliteracy model in which students receive initial literacy and content area instruction in both program languages in grades kinder through 6th. Instruction is provided by 2 educators, a TESOL endorsed teacher and a bilingual certified teacher. So what do you think? Did that sound like a dual language program to you or not a dual language program? To me, I heard a lot of the non-negotiables in place. Not necessarily the goals, but usually when we find all those non-negotiables, the literacy and content, the 50% in minority language in the 6 years, and the languages are separated because they talk about 2 different teachers, that indicates that this is a dual language program. This is a dual language program in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Next program. In this program, 30 minutes of Arabic are taught through the content areas 2 to 3 times per week, starting in kindergarten. The goals are to promote cross-cultural understanding, develop increased functional proficiency in all aspects of Arabic, and enhance reading development in English and Arabic. Their website actually has a lot more goals, but I just wanted to list a few. And so what do you think? Dual language or not dual language? If you said not dual language, I agree with you. The biggest reason is the 50% in minority language. With only 30 minutes 2 to 3 times per week, this sounds like a great FLES program, but it is not a dual language program. Okay, next up. In this program, classrooms are integrated with an equal number of English and Spanish speaking students. In preschool, kindergarten, and 1st grade, students learn in Spanish for the majority of their day. Gradually, more subjects are added to the English part of their day. Students begin formal English reading instruction in 3rd grade. By the 5th grade, instruction is evenly divided between Spanish and English. Students may learn history and science in Spanish while they study math and language arts in English. So, in this description, what do you think? I heard clear evidence that literacy and content are in both languages. I heard that there's a 50% balance later in the program, but they actually start with more time in the minority language earlier. That the program goes until at least 5th grade, and the languages are separated at least by content area. And so for me, this is a dual language program. Next up, we have a program where 50% of classroom instruction is in English and 50% of the instruction is in Spanish. Half of the students in each classroom speak English at home and half of the students speak Spanish at home. In K1 and 2, all the students learn to read and write in Spanish. English is used for math, science, and social studies. In 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades, the students transition their literacy skills to read and write in English, but continue with Spanish in the content areas of math, science, and social studies. So what do you think about this program in Kennewick? I think it sounds like a dual language program to me. Again, we don't hear a lot about their goals, but what they do have indicates to me that they have some non-negotiables in place. The literacy and content, the 50-50, it's going at least, we know, until 5th grade. And it sounds like the languages are separated. So we're going to call that a dual language program. That's what they call it too. In the same district, maybe I shouldn't have told you that. In this program, Spanish-speaking students are taught in Spanish 50% of the day. There's 50-50. The literacy is taught in Spanish. Math, science, and social studies are taught in English. By the beginning of third grade, all instruction is in English, with students receiving support to transition to English literacy. So this program, what do you think? I think it's not a dual language program. It looks like it ends in third, and the goal really is for students to transition to English. All instruction is in English by third grade, so the goal can't be bilingualism there. Okay, next program, that's actually a transitional bilingual education program in the same district that houses the previous dual language education program that we looked at. Next one. The purpose of this program is to increase English language proficiency and the academic achievement of English language learner students. Students are offered the opportunity to develop the knowledge and skills necessary to become self-confident, responsible, productive, and contributing members of society. The goal of the program is to support the mission of the district by providing support services for English language learners. What do you think? I think this sounds like not a dual language program. I didn't hear any of the non-negotiables. I didn't hear any of the goals except maybe academic achievement. This is in Arizona, the Kyrene School District, and this is their structured English immersion. This is not a dual language program. Next one, seventh one. The objective of this program is to provide a quality second language learning experience for students during their key language acquisition years at no expense to their primary language development. The program is designed for students whose primary language is the dominant language of society, English, upon entry to school. In the program, a second language, French, along with the student's home language, is used to teach regular school subjects. A major objective of the program is oral fluency and literacy in both English and French. So what do you think? Dual or not dual? I think this sounds like it's probably a dual program. I didn't hear clear evidence that the languages are separated, but I did hear the goals in place. I know that literacy and content is taught in both. I didn't hear clearly that that there's 50%. So this might not be a dual language program, but we can have a dual language program that is a foreign language immersion program for English speakers. That counts under the umbrella of dual language programs. So if you put it in not a dual language program because they didn't give us enough evidence of the non-negotiables, that's fine. I think it probably does meet the requirements of the non-negotiables. Okay. And the last one. This program empowers and develops bilingual, biliterate students. Acquisition of a second language while maintaining their own is a goal, as well as developing positive cross-cultural understanding. The student population includes only native Spanish speakers. The languages of instruction are Spanish and English. Program entry for ELL students can occur in grades K through 5. Parent permission is required for participation of ELL students. The language distribution is 50-50, beginning in kindergarten. What do you think? I think that with the information they've provided, this sounds like a one-way dual or a developmental bilingual program, and it does fall under the dual language program model definition. But I'm going to share with you something that's further down on their website. See if it made me change my mind. See if it makes you change your mind. Okay? So they call this their one-way dual program, and that's what I was thinking too until I read this line. ELL students exited by LPAC, that's their language committee, will be on monitor status and enrolled in a regular classroom. So the purpose of a dual language program is for students, the goal is for them to be bilingual and biliterate, but they need to be in that program for, we're looking for 6+ years. So if a student, once they're successful, leaves the program, that tells me that maybe the goal of the program isn't bilingualism. It is to get them to have enough English so that they can be in the mainstream. Like if they're leaving the program once they're proficient, that sounds like mainstream is the ultimate goal. And so because of that line, I'm going to move this over to not a dual language program. This is in the Willis Independent School District in Texas, and they do consider this their one-way dual language program. So sometimes, the state requirements require us to run our programs one way or another, but it doesn't quite meet the definition of the dual language program using the goals and non-negotiables. Okay, so how did you do? And my big question is, what kinds, I'm guessing that you're interested in dual language education because you either have one in the district you're connected to, or you're looking at dual language education. And so I'm interested in hearing, does your current program meet the definition of dual language education, or how will the program you're thinking of meet the dual language education definition? Thanks for joining me. This is Amy from dualcoach.com.